rises, steady resonant, the rival. They call her Christy Farley, not just a name, but a force, a current moving through silence, a spark light in the dark corners of forgotten voices. Spoken word artist, international author, visionary, creative leader. Do you feel it? Every title is not a crown she wears, but a seed she plants, the vision. See, Christy does not just speak, she creates echo. Her words ripple across oceans, bridging cities, bridging lives, bridging souls that thought they were alone. Her eyes, telescopes, seeing galaxies of possibility where others saw only night. Her hands, blueprints, sketching new ways to rise, new ways to lead, new ways to believe. The platforms, a chat show, a podcast, a lifeline broadcast into the world. On Facebook Live, she becomes both stage and sanctuary, turning screens into gathering fires where strangers become friends and friends become family. She is the voice that welcomes you. Welcome to Journey and Gems. And in that welcome you realize you are not just a listener, you are a gem too. You are part of the journey and the vision expands. Journey and Gems with Farley, and poetess and spoken word artist. Member of Two Tempted and the Boss Up Blue Mamba. Not just programs, movements, not just podcasts, bridges for the world to cross. Leadership, Christy is not chasing applause. She's not chasing fame, she's chasing truth. And truth, my friends, is the rarest currency in this world. Her leadership, it does not dominate, it elevates. It does not silence, it amplifies. She lives stories the way sunlight lifts shadows. She builds bridges the way rivers carve valleys. She connects voices across continents, across languages, across borders. Because vision knows no border. The fire, listen. Christy is not just speaking, she is summoning. Every word a spark, every pause a drumbeat. She tells the world, create, connect, believe, and the world answers back. Because her call is not small, it is global. She's not just one leader, she is the echo of many. The rhythm of community, the sound of tomorrow rising in today's throat, the anthem. So let the chorus rise. Journey and Gems, a space for the broken to heal. Journey and Gems with Farley and poetess and spoken word artists, where laughter and wisdom meet at the same table. Raw, real, and shaken truth that dares to speak what others silence. From God's kiss to live streams, her spirit ascends. Christy the host, the visionary, the friend. Her connections circle the globe like constellations, threaded together by her light. CEO, creator, dreamer. Her presence, a song we never forget. The legacy. Mark this moment, cause voices like hers do not fade. They multiply, they ignite new voices, they inspire new leaders. She is the question and the reply. She is thunder and soft sky. She is wisdom written, spoken, lived. And when Christy Farley speaks, the world listens. Not because they are told to, but because they want to. Because the words are wings, the closing. So stand with me as the anthem flows. Raise your eyes to the vision she casts. Raise your hearts to the fire that lasts. Christy Farley, a gem, a journey, a guide through the storm. Spoken word artist, international author, visionary, creative leader. Remember her name, carry her flame, because this is not just her story. This is ours.
Welcome everybody to Journey and Gems with Farley and Friends. I am your hostess, Christy L. Farley, and we have the beautiful Ashley K. Lee in the house.
Hello. It's so good to be with you.
It is so good to see you, and coming on stage is our very own Kendall Cobb from Unseen Twisted Truth. Hello, up there in Canada, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing all right. Hope all's well.
Everything is going well for me. I just finished up my domestic violence awareness show, and I think that I was definitely feeling the blessings of the special guest on there, and I'm hoping that we bless somebody out there who is going through, whether they're in a bad relationship or they are ready to leave that relationship. We want to be supportive of everybody. Now we're diving into Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this is, again, another topic that is very sensitive. And so I want everybody to feel as good as you can to want to share whatever that you would like for people to know about you. I've never been through breast cancer, so I can only come from another point of view of family members who have had breast cancer, those
Hmm.
who have survived and who hasn't. But um, Ashley, your story is just um, one of millions, but there's something about you that has captured my attention even more because of who you are. And so, Kendall, I don't know, have you ever experienced having breast cancer?
Myself personally, that's a no. But I have family members who have passed on from cancer, such as my grandma. And then my twin
Mm-hmm.
auntie, who also has breast cancer, she's had it twice, and she had to get the surgeries to get that removed as well. So it does affect my family bloodlines as well. So there's a lot of history to it.
Before we dive in, I would like for everybody to introduce themselves and what they do, and so that way we can go ahead and dive into the conversation. It will always start with you, Ashley, and then it'll go to Kendall. Usually you can see when we mute and unmute that we can go ahead and the next person can speak.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to go ahead and live stream this, go ahead and connect your social media pages. You can have 2 or 3 social media pages right now. And if you would like to go ahead and start streaming live on
Oh,
your platform right now,
that's great.
we
Actually,
can
I didn't
definitely
know
go
that.
ahead and wait a moment and get you to do that because I was coming in the middle of my theme song, which again, thank you, Andrew O'Leary in Wales, for doing that for me. It was very special to do it the first time and then having to correct it and you bringing it even better to where I was in tears. I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I thank him as well. So, yes, she probably got to have to come back in because sometimes we do get kicked out. So, while we're waiting for her, Kendall, so tell me about what you knew and when about somebody that your loved ones being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, well, I could start with my grandma, I guess, because she's had all types of different cancers going on ever since I can remember. It's more than just breast cancer. It was colon cancer. It was her liver and something else that's been going on with her body for a long time.
Oh my
And
goodness.
it's going on since going, what year was that? 6 years since, I think, going on 5 to 6 around there. And then I've had my auntie, she's still alive, thank goodness, but she's still also going through it as well. So breast cancer can happen at any time, any moment when you're not too careful with your health. If you notice like a little lump on your breast, you always check yourself out, even when you're taking showers or something. And just like, you got to do your daily health check-in. You just touch yourself if you have to. Not being rude or anything, but you have to. You got to check for those little bumps every so often. So if you notice something that doesn't feel right, you got to check it. So that being said, it could happen at any time, any moment if you're not careful with your health. That being said, it could happen to anyone as well. It doesn't matter who you are. Cancer sucks. It really does. I've lost too many people from it. Um, that being said, I'm still blessed to be alive today just from dealing with my own chronic issues as well. It's always something with me
Mm-hmm.
too. So breast cancer, oof, that's a big no. You got to get it checked. So, this is what it is.
Right. And I wanted you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Oh, right, that part. Well, I'm a spastic person to begin with. I like to walk into things and I trip on thin air. Yeah. Um, I'm very humorous with saddest sense of humor. I'm also a well-known northern artist. I'm from Canada, Ontario, North Bay. And I do a lot of TikTok. I do a lot of painting sessions, and I do paintings for other people to bless them with photography, music, podcast, and everything else in between that I don't do. I don't sleep much either, so that's just how it is. So we'll go from there.
Oh, well, thank you. Because I do want people to know that me and you met on Unseen Twisted Truths, where you are a member of before I became and entered into the family. So I really enjoy and adore you, and thank you for coming on the show. Ashley, would you like to please, Ashley K, will you let everybody know who you are, what you've been doing, and then we can go right into the first question for you.
Yes, of course. So I'm Ashley K. I recently got married. I am battling both breast cancer and leukemia. I've been battling since 2021 was when I got diagnosed. And I am recently crowned Miss USA Woman. So I competed in a national pageant. Um, and I got crowned on the 4th of October. So I'm just very fresh into my reign. And I got married in July. I have a wonderful husband. He is an amazing support system. And yeah, I'm glad that you asked me to come. I have just recently, over the last couple of years, started telling my story. So I'm always happy to tell my story, and I hope I can bless someone, with my story today.
Absolutely, and I thank you. Meeting you last year on a podcast was really amazing, and you have been an inspiration, a source of motivation, and and the joy of life and what life really means. Um, and we'll go ahead and get right on into it now because this is a great segue. And I do have my tissues next to me. Okay, good. Um, when did you first learn you had cancer?
So, oddly enough, this is not my first bout with cancer. I dealt with cervical cancer back in between like 2014 and 2016. I dealt with cervical cancer. So, this is not my first battle with cancer. But this time I got diagnosed in 2021. I got diagnosed with the leukemia first in April. And then October, a few days after my 26th birthday, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. Um, I was
Mm,
very shocked to say the least because cancer doesn't run heavy in my family at all. Um,
okay.
and so, I'm me, freshly 26. I feel like I have like my whole life ahead of me, and to have the whole world feel like it's crashing down uh, was, to say the least, just shocking. The biggest thing for me was that I got diagnosed with late stage cancer. So I got diagnosed at stage 2 with the breast cancer and stage 3 with the leukemia. So it was already pretty far progressed, despite the fact I had been advocating for myself and talking to my doctors and telling them that I felt like something was wrong because I had the lumps, I had the bruising, the itchiness, I had all these other issues. And then with my previous health history with cancer, they didn't fight for me the way I thought they should have fought for me. They didn't listen to my concerns, so I ended up getting diagnosed kind of late.
Oh. Um, Kendall, if you have anything to add, this is how I'll probably do it. We just go back and forth in a good conversation and healthy conversation, but I also am here for you, Ashley K. I am here for you.
Thank you.
So my question is, how do you find out what the breast cancer is? Like for the bumps and stuff, do you get the symptoms or just when was that discovered?
So for me, I had the symptoms. So because I had the leukemia tends to spread. And what it does is that it causes either you'll get the leukemia cancer cells in another organ or another part of your body, or it will cause you to develop another cancer in another organ or part of your body. In my case, I end up having both leukemia and breast cancer. So the breast cancer is only in my left breast, and it started off with like these little small like lumps. They were like the size of peas, and they were very hard and lumpy. And it went from that to they kind of spread over my whole breast, and I had like itching. I had like the dimpling of the chest where like you could poke me and it was like my skin would cave in. And then I had like the excess bruising. Excess bruising is more so you would notice it in my leukemia, which was one of my symptoms. But because I had the issue with my breasts, they were just like severely bruised. Like you could hug me and I would bruise really easy. And so because I had a great doctor and I have a great doctor now, um, she fought for me and was like, okay, well, we're gonna look into this because we know you're dealing with this leukemia, so we're gonna check. And I didn't think I had the breast cancer. I just thought like, okay, maybe it's from the chemo I've been on, it's my hormones or whatever. And I ended up getting a mammogram, and then they had me do like a like a CT scan with contrast with my breast, and they like have you lay on this table and they put your chest inside these little tube cups and you gotta lay there,
Mm-hmm.
still. And when they were scanning me, I never forget like hearing the person in the background. They're like, "Oh yeah, we see something." And so I asked her like, "What is it?" But they can't tell you. But it was just the expression on her face. I already knew it wasn't anything good. And so when I go back into the doctor's office, um, she and he are both in the office with me, and he's like, "Yeah, you have stage 3 breast cancer is going to spread." Um, and it started at stage 2 and it spread to stage 3. And it affects like my muscle tissue and it affects my fat. So the fat has become fibrous due to the breast cancer. So my chest is like very sensitive. Like if you touch it, you can feel the lumps, you can feel the fibrous tissue. The fibrous tissue, thank God, is not cancerous, but
Okay.
because of the leukemia, I have a lot of complications with my breast cancer, so I've been unable to go into remission with that. So that's been the hardest battle because now I have the leukemia is terminal, and the breast cancer can't get cleared up because my body's not able to take the chemo properly due to many
Mm-hmm.
issues. And so it's just a constant battle of it'll get better and then it'll get worse. It'll get better and then it gets worse. So it's kind of like this seesaw thing of what's going to be today. Is it going to be a good day or a bad day? So,
Right. I appreciate you and walking us through your process. I know that within my family, it was popular on my mother's side to
mm-hmm,
have cancer. And so, and the breast cancer that ran in from aunts to cousins. And so, it was something that I always said to myself that I understood more and why some people chose to do cosmetic surgery afterwards.
mm-hmm,
Particularly when somebody was saying that they did not feel so much like a woman without it. And then there's people that are like, you know what, I don't want to do anything right now, or they've done even tattoos or something like that
mm-hmm.
to bring something of their own artistic way of being able to handle breast cancer. And I'm glad that we're able to talk about all cancers, because with leukemia, for a long period of time in my beginning stages of my life, I did not know leukemia was a form of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, then I know actually you were talking about some of the ways that it's changed your life, but really with the family dynamics and your financials and stuff, how does it impact you?
Oh, wow. Financially, it has put me in a place where honestly, if it weren't for my mother and my brothers and my partner, I there's no telling where I would be. due to the fact that chemo treatment is so expensive and my insurance doesn't cover most of the treatment plan. I have over $100,000 worth of medical debt because of chemo treatment. Um, some days it's a pick and choose. Am I gonna pay for dinner or am I gonna get my medication? And it's gotten to a point now where I can't even pick my medication because the medication is costing me $300+ a month to pay for, and I'm on multiple pills or multiple injections. And recently, I've been dealing with a bout of seizures. So I got diagnosed with a seizure condition back in July, and the outstanding medical cost for that alone is $3,000 a month. And so financially, I am in such a dark place that if it weren't for the people around me, I'm not sure I would even be here because it takes such a mental strain on me. And I
Mm-hmm.
went from being able to financially, take care of things myself, even take care of some of the people around me, to I really have nothing. And it bothers me because, I just recently turned 30 and I'm in the place where I thought I would be in a so much better place financially. And the fact because of my health, I'm unable to. And the lack of resources I have, the fact that now with a lot of the issues politically that's going on, I'm being directly affected as far as my insurance. I'm being directly affected as far as my access to food and nutrition. I'm being directly affected as far as like my doctors. And so, um, though I have a very positive outlook on life in a whole, um, these days have been pretty dark. They have been pretty heavy because um, the finances are horrible. I can't afford pain medication. I haven't been able to have access to pain medication in almost a year. And because of the fact I'm a terminal patient, the insurance company has a code where if I don't go into a hospice center and stay in a hospice center, they won't pay for my pain medication. They won't pay for my medication and my
Oh,
seizures because of my condition, and they won't pay for it. And I have great doctors who keep advocating for me and advocating for me, but it's insurance. It's a money game for them. I'm just another ticket. I'm not a person. So I have to try to raise money. I have a GoFundMe where um, my godmom and mom put together for me to try to raise finances to just help with everyday needs. So it's a struggle. It's a part of my life I don't really talk about very often. I don't know if it's due to like the stigma of asking for help or just the fear of being judged of having to ask for help. But over the last course of this year, I've gotten to the place where it's like closed mouths don't get fed. People can't help me
hmm.
if they don't know I need help. So I've been just advocating, being like, hey, even if it's people sharing my story, helps so much because I never know who I could reach or who I could touch who could possibly help me. So
I thank you for sharing that because that's um, very significant for me to know that you have a place to talk about it and for people to come and who may be going through the same thing. And
hmm
I did make sure I put it down there if you would like to also put your GoFundMe in there as well because I
okay.
usually do not do that on my show, but I meant to ask you ahead of
Mhm.
time to have it in there because of the way that you have taken on this. And in the past year, it's been an honor to work with you on my album. And
Yes, that was
because
so
you are,
wonderful.
oh my gosh, you're just so amazing. Like, it
Thank
has
you.
to be that, and to know that you went out there and you did your thing on that stage and got your crowns. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, a proud parent, like, because you could really be, yeah, like my children are a little older than you.
Mhm.
So it's like that proud parent moment where you're like, oh my gosh, like, go girl, So, Kendall, do
Thank
you
you.
know of anything that you want to say to Ashley, or was there anything that you knew similar about with your grandmother or aunts, the ones that went through it, that when they got to that terminal stage?
It's basically trying to be more open. A lot of people don't talk about what they go through and they go very quiet, very quick. And I'm like, well, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Is there anything I can do for you? And I'm like, well, what can I do? How can I be that type of support when they don't want it? Or if it's too late, the fact they can't even say anything at all, and next thing they're gone. So it's just one of those things where, like, well, I could have done better. Or just one of those things, do you have any like proper support when you want to be there, but you can't? So the thing is, how can you be there when they don't want to talk?
And actually, that's something that you can answer. Oh, I don't know what happened. Okay. We will make sure that she can get back on. Wicked Low. What I can do is, well, what I'll do is that if you want to jump in, I'll send you the link again. While Ashley K can go ahead and answer and talk to what response to what Kendall had to say.
I actually really love your question, Kendall, or your statement you made. I will tell you, for me, I went through the stage of not really wanting anybody's help, not wanting anybody's company, not wanting anything from anybody. Um, but I would tell you, oftentimes, the feeling of not wanting somebody around is just you not wanting to hurt the people you love. Especially in case when you reach a point to where you're terminal, you get in this place of wondering when you're gonna die and kind of having this time clock on you, and you don't want the people you love to remember you suffering, or you don't want them to remember seeing you in pain. But on the opposite end, when you are in that place, you also yearn for somebody to be there. So sometimes the best thing to do is not necessarily like bogart your way or take up space, but just come anyway. You know, whether it's taking them a cup of coffee, or just sitting with them and watching TV, or giving them a letter, like those things matter. My best friend Kai, she lives in Houston now. But when I first got sick, I went through that stage just I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I remember one day she came over and she knocked on the door. And I'm seeing her out the window knock on the door. And I don't get up to answer. And she's like, well, I'm going to keep knocking until you answer. So you're going to eventually have to get up and answer the door. And so I get up and answer the door, and I'm mad. I'm kind of upset that she's here because, I don't want her to see me this way. I don't want her to see me sick. Like, she's somebody I love. We've been friends since we were teenagers, and I don't want her to see this version of me. And she sat there with me. And the longer she sat, the more I was like, well, I can't just let her sit here and not talk to her. And we just spoke about life. She talked about her kids. We laughed, we cried. And the fact she still came and showed up, even when I still tried to shut her out, meant the world to me. And I know that in a lot of cases, that's what it is fear. And fear can lead you to just pushing people away. So sometimes it's worth just showing up anyway. And even if they do still push and push and push, the thing I always tell people to remember is, don't feel as if they're pushing away because they don't love you. They're pushing away because they love you. And that's the thing I try to remind people all the time, because in the support groups, we talk about like family and support systems. And a lot of people don't have um, support systems. And the people who do, they talk about how, they don't have their family come over, they don't this, they don't that. And the therapist told her, like, it's our way of avoiding the inevitable of death. And the thing is, death is promised to all of us. And though some of us may know how or when we may go out, death is happens. And so when you reach that point of accepting, like, okay, this is what happens in life, you make the conscious choice to no longer push those people out. But sometimes people don't figure that out till it's too late. And they have the shame of, oh, I wish I would have told this person to come, or I wish I would have said that. So I just encourage people to go ahead and just show up anyway.
Yeah, yeah, because that's one thing that we don't want to do is sometimes there are days that people don't want to actually feel like doing anything.
Hmm.
And so with my parents, it was something that my dad, it was too late for him to do anything, any treatment or whatever. By the time that he got it, he was, well, by the time they found out. So at 12 years old, he was telling me whatever symptoms, and stuff like that. That if I see, the yellowing of the eyes, whatever, and so he was my best friend, and it really meant the world to just be able to be there, even not talk about it. Even if they want to talk about something else, 'cause my mother eventually passed away 2 years after he passed, um, because she had a 10-year battle with everything but breast cancer. But her sisters unfortunately did. So cancer in itself is really something that I'm glad that we're able to talk about tonight, and the courage that you have, Ashley, to help us to guide us and everybody else into how do we support, how do we show up, and the financial is really, really hard core for this system and for this world to and where we live at in the United States of America.
Yeah, it really is.
But we also know most of us on the flip side of that who understand exactly that we're still looked at and how we're viewed,
Yeah.
as and it's not deemed worthy to be given these supports, and we must change that. We have to change that. Thank you, Wicked Low, for coming on the show.
I appreciate you for having me on this one. I do apologize.
Hey, family and schoolwork and all that in between is what is important. I know you have met Ashley K. Lee before, and I know that you have probably met Kendall Cobb before. You have, in fact, on Unseen Twisted Truths.
Yeah.
So,
See the hair?
oh wow, okay, my girls,
This is why, yeah, this
aren't
is
they
why Mickey
gorgeous?
Prince was. I
Absolutely
miss
gorgeous.
Mickey. I was getting hair done for
Yeah,
school tomorrow, so that's why I was like, when I saw the time, I was like, oh no, oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's okay. It's like I said, it's okay. Ashley from doing the poetry
Mhm.
Hmm.
and all the crowns that she's got. You know what I mean? Like her and her work. So like we're also being supportive because I'm really my real main point here, honestly. I do have a selfish motive is to get people financially to help and spread the word about to give to Ashley in
Thank
her
you.
battle. I do. You're that little sister, that beautiful angel that I see that is smiling, that is wearing her sash, and knowing that what you're going through, and knowing that it's not your fault. There's nothing you can do
Hmm.
financially, and it's such an unfortunate thing that it's maddening, and I'm sure it's probably in Canada too, where people are not quite getting. But I'll ask Kendall about that. People getting the help that they need to fight, um, and because we're categorized, we have to break that stigma. And so I really want to help because knowing that you have to spend what about $1 million?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's really crazy how expensive it truly is. And the thing is, with medical debt, um, they say it doesn't affect your credit score, but it does.
It sure
And
does.
they will call and harass you. Like, I deliberately left my mom off of all my medical documents. So if and when I do pass on, my debt won't follow her. They won't try to harass her. And I never forget, I got a letter in the mail, and it's like it was like $89,000 like medical bill, and no lie, within the next week or so, they're calling and harassing my mom, asking her about the money, asking her about can they put it on a payment plan? Can you afford this? Can you afford that? And it's like,
Mm.
no, I can't afford it actually.
Right, because if you could afford it, you pay it. Why aren't they
Right.
asking the doctors where all these loans are? But I'm gonna digress on that one because I'm like everybody else. They got the loans, and you riding around doing this, that, and the third. But you got somebody who actually is contributing to life, and you just don't want to do it. So that's my motive to because I really know that it's not out of pity. It's not a take away any honor or anything else that you have. In fact, I hope that you will see it as an honor that we are here to support you, and
Be blessed.
you mean a lot to me, and so I want people to understand. And like I said, we all know of somebody. Wicked, do you know somebody who has survived or passed on from breast cancer?
I've known, yes, I've known two women that survived it. Yeah, yes. Uh, One was
Okay.
years ago, and the other one we spoke here and there, with, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do. Yeah, I met some.
And so, from a man's perspective, how do you feel about what they have to go through, what we have to go through, and meaning women in general, having to go through such a thing?
That having to go through that from my standpoint, it's a very, ooh, I know it's a very hard thing to go through. I mean, I take it from the standpoint of just trying to be there and be supportive because it's a, you know, I can't, the words escape me at this moment. That's what I usually do. I just try to be there because I know it's such a, it's a big thing. I mean, women are strong. I gotta say that, women are strong and courageous, and to go through something like that, it's like, what can we do except for this be there and show as much support as possible, as humanly possible.
That's what I'm talking about. And so, with that, Ashley, how does your husband deal with it? And I'm sure he knew going in, but tell us your love story.
Um, my love story. My love story is interesting. Me and my husband were both artists. He does producing, engineering, and he's also a wonderful rapper. And I do poetry and I sing. And we've both just kind of been admiring each other from afar. And one day we just decided, like, okay, we're gonna break the ice. And he was talking about wanting to collaborate and work on music, and I said something to him, and literally since that day we've been connected just to each other, like at the hip. He's like my biggest support. He's my best friend. Um, Me and him have definitely been together, not just in this lifetime, but other lifetimes. And he has gotten me through some very dark places in my life. And he encouraged me every day to tell my story. Because I've often felt like my story wasn't worth being heard. And it reminds me, like, every day that I'm worthy of being heard, I'm worthy of being seen. And our love just shines through it all. Our love shines through my cancer battles, shines through seizures, shines through everything. It makes the dark world so much more beautiful and just worth living in, with him.
Mm. I wish I would have asked you to have him join us because I think that that perspective and Wicked is definitely doing the best he can to give us the male side of things as well. And Kendall, when you saw your family going through, what was one of the things that your takeaway for get, getting the health care in Canada? Like, was it very good with your aunts and your grandmother? Like, what was it like? And as far as that aspect, because I want everybody to know, not only in the United States, but what goes on in Canada as well. So if you could share something, I appreciate it.
I know our systems are a little bit different in Canada because it's covered by the government. So when it comes to either being on ODSP or to any type of treatments, I'm pretty sure you still might have to pay for what it is, depending on what the prices are too, with the certain types of programs that are out there. And the latest thing, I'm not sure if you heard what MAID is, MAID, where they help assist you with the death process of things at the age of, let's say, 18. They're saying now that you can consent to have that type of assistance for what it is in Canada. And we're like, what? At age 18, that's too young for any type of situation to consent to any type of ordeal for the agreements with it. And it's very hardships too. And it's just, it's so out there for what it is right now. And they're allowing it. And I'm like, well,
Mm.
I know there's different types of reasons why we go through what we go through for that type of reason to make death easier. So when it comes to death and all that type of situations that we're dealing with, it's not going to be easy no matter what the outcome may be. So it's just so much crap going on right now. I can't keep up.
Yeah, and that's the key element to it is that there has to be more systems in place. We have to have. This has been too long of a conversation that we've been having, and unfortunately, people do get tired and weary, and not everybody is as fortunate to have somebody that they actually fell in love with, Ashley, and then is making it, brighter and beautiful.
Hmm.
In the lives what and like I said, it doesn't have to be a terminal. You could just even be a survivor of it, because we know that I know, not having breast cancer but lung cancer, that it did
Hmm.
spread to my colon before, but before it became cancerous.
Mm.
So understanding that cancer travels through the body
Yeah.
is one of those things that you were talking about that I want to also make people aware of, is that just don't, make sure you don't get paranoid, but make sure that if you're ever diagnosed with any type of cancer, that it can be aware that it can spread. And so you
Yes.
want to do as many things as possible. But when we go to a place where finances is concerned, my concern is that everybody has a fighting chance.
Right.
Nobody's out of the game, because we have no idea what the Most High has planned. We don't know what the universe is supposed to bring. And
Right.
so to give up, and knowing that I've seen the struggle and seeing people watching them and just until right there, the end, as a, I would say, a guide into to the transition from one place to another. It's just something that I just wanted to be heartfelt about before that, because people won't do anything until afterwards,
Right.
and they will show up afterwards. And so it's like, okay, yeah, show up while I'm here, and it's okay that if you don't say, when we're not going to make a dent in that, give, because you don't know where you can ding out the dents in Ashley Kaylee's life and for her husband and family. So, with that being said, as well, Ashley,
Yes.
um, what I like to do is that, on the what is life like for you today, take us on that journey, for a moment of what is it like not knowing, and what is it like to have what you do have here, the
Mm.
people, and like you, I appreciate you talking about how you didn't want people coming and stuff like that, but you really
Yeah.
did. I appreciate that part. So what is it like today in the moment? Like today, how was your day? and take us through that.
So I would say most of my days I'm able to get up, even though I'm in this constant state of having some form of pain. I'm able to get up, I make breakfast for me and my husband. We sit and laugh and listen to music, and I try to get outside and go with my mother to the store. I try to, play with our dog. I try to make my life very normal. Um, but there are some days, more often than not lately, where I've had a seizure that night or I'll have a seizure that morning. And so I start off my morning a little hazy, a little confused because I've had a seizure. And now my husband is trying to fill in because my blanks are missing. With my seizures, sometimes I'll forget even who I am. But
Mm,
he's like the constant that's in my life. So I won't remember me, but I will remember him. And he helps bring the balance to maybe an otherwise off balance day. And I try to find the joy in the little things throughout the day, whether it's just a smile on somebody's face or a song he plays or us just having long conversations. If I'm not out doing something for the city, because every day I try to bring love and light wherever I am. And with my activism work, I haven't really been able to be like foot on the ground like I used to be, but I'm still out trying to make a difference. So I'm always seeing what's going on in our group, seeing if there's anything anybody needs help with that I can handle on my end, being home. And then I write. I write poetry every day. I write something to
mm,
remind myself that I'm human, to remind myself that even when it's all said and done, I have my voice. Cancer has taken a lot from me, but it cannot take my voice. It cannot
mm,
take the poet and the woman I am, and I won't allow it to. And that's something that, thanks to my husband, he, has promised to carry on my legacy with my art, with my poetry, with my
oh,
soul. And that gives me so much peace because I know that my words won't go unheard. So
mm,
I just take that with me every day. Like when I go to bed at night, I, tell myself, if tonight's the night I go, I know tomorrow my voice will still ring in people's ears. Somebody will still be able to hear something from me. And I just go day for day. I just take it one day at a time. I know for me, tomorrow's not promised. It's just like it's not for any of us. But I try to be sure that in the day that I have, I make it worth something so that if I do go, I know I'm at peace that I did what I could.
mm. Does anybody have anything that they would like to ask or share? Okay. Um, I really want to applaud you, and that is something true to all of us about our legacy. What we leave behind is something that is definitely a treasure when when you know um, that somebody's going to do that for you. It means everything.
Mhm. It
Because
did.
that's one of the things that I've always said, that if anything happened to me, I would hope that I could still touch people by my messages, my words, something to help them to get through. And so I know one thing is that when I had put it out there on my social media, and I know that Professional Pulse magazine picks you up.
Yes.
They snatched you right on up, and I love the fact that they did your piece, and I want to get that copy. Remind everybody, please, what issue you are in, because I know I'm in June's
I
issue.
am in the September issue, which
Okay.
was really special to me because September is Leukemia Awareness Month, and I was in September's issue, so that was pretty exciting.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love them over there, and I thank them for doing that because you, like I said, it's that you're the worth. People seeing you, watching you, and those who will get to know you from the show and moving forward and understanding what all that you do, which is so
Mm,
amazing. And because
thank
even
you.
me, I'll be like, oh my goodness, okay, today I can't get out there. You know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, but she done went out there. Wait a minute now, Tristan, you gotta get out there too. Now, like, what are you doing? That pain can't be that bad, even though I might do a little bit. But you know what I mean? It's like that. It's like we all inspire each other, and we never know who we're gonna run into, who
Right.
can actually touch us, and we'll remember for the rest of our lives. And you're one of those people, and I appreciate it. As my special guests are Wicked Low and Kendall Cobb. You guys are really great. I would like to go ahead and thank you for being here. You guys just helped me support Ashley.
Thank you.
Sabrina was supposed to be on last week, and due to my physical illness, real quick, just decided to sneak up on me that day. She was not able to be here today, but she has been going to breast cancer awareness functions yesterday and today, so we know that she's always doing something positive, and I appreciate her and what she's doing for me as she's helped taught me to go through the lung part of it, but she had breast cancer and is in remission. And so I just want to shout her out too, as we've been in her books. I've been in her first book and I'm in her second book as well. So I really appreciate the people that I come across because you guys all are gems in so many ways and you bring the essence of your voice, which is so powerful. Everybody's voice is powerful. And Wicked, I thank you in particular because in a room with women in there, I know that you have found yourself to be. And so I knew that you'd be comfortable coming in and just, giving, that support and that love because you are that man. I know that a particular loved one in your life did not have cancer, but I know what you had to go through close to death. And how you were able to handle it. I think that it's really a tribute to the men who are standing there and not running, and I'm grateful for that.
I
Uh,
appreciate you. It and I appreciate you. It My father did well. I would say I told you this before. With my father, but it wasn't breast cancer, but it was cancer. But the only difference was is that he was getting better. But you know the situation I told you about what the nurse did. So that's
right.
why I couldn't really talk about it too much, and that didn't really think it was But that's what happened with him. But there was a couple friends, like I said, I met a couple friends along the line throughout my life that had breast cancer and they survived it. And a big salute to all of them and all the women that everybody that goes through it, women as well, everyone that goes through these things because I know it's difficult. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been through it. I've been through my own trials and tribulation of life, but that's neither here nor there. That's different. So, but big love and salute to everyone.
Thank you. Is there something that you would like to share with everybody or to with Ashley as well as we're closing this out? Some your final thoughts for her and for others who are going through breast cancer.
My prayers, my heart goes out with y'all. Here with y'all, riding with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Support as much as humanly possible, and just you know, nobody knows what the man upstairs, what the higher power has for us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It, things can be done, things can be beaten, and sometimes, you know, what life is just this is what we deal with. But y'all are soldiers, and I really salute all of you. You know what I'm saying? Love to all of you. and keep fighting that good one. You know.
Thank you.
See, now I was on mute. Okay, thank you. Miss I'm talking. I'm like, duh. Okay, Miss Kendall, it's your turn, my dear.
I'm sorry, what I lost my chain of thought for a second there. My bad.
No, I was saying, was there anything that you would like to specifically say to Ashley Kay and or to the audience out there that are going through breast cancer? And we do shout out to everybody who's going through any type of cancer as well, because Ashley Kay is
Mm.
also going through leukemia. So we want to keep breast cancer awareness in mind, but you can also spread love to those that are battling.
Well, thank you so much for having me, for the opportunity, and just being willing to be very open and talking about such topics. I know it's very hard to be vulnerable and talking to the public about this, but it's so important to be very open that way and not hide from it. And it's also important to go get that checked, whatever it may be. If you feel like you might have something, go get it looked at, right? So thank you for the opportunity, and I wish you all the best. I'm here if needed. If you want to talk to someone, I'm very open that way as well. So thank you so much.
Mm, thank you. I know everybody can't see each other's names, so for just 1 second, I'm going to go ahead. That way, you know how to reach each other, and everybody can reach us as well. Because I will do a spin real quick, Ashley, before I come back to you. Kendall, how can people find you?
I'm on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I just recently rejoined from all the platforms. I had to cut back on a few situations, but I'm regaining my grounds again. Don't mind the kids in the background. It's school night, so
Yeah,
it is
right.
what it is. So yeah, anywhere you want to try to contact me, I'm on Facebook mostly, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Wicked Low.
Um. Well, I'm on. No, I'm playing. I'm
See,
on
there you
YouTube.
go.
It's
See, there
wicked.
you
I
go.
I couldn't help it. I had to do it just one time. One time only. Once in a lifetime. One time for the night. One time for your mind. YouTube, Spotify, and everything. Instagram, the real Wicked Low, and everywhere else Wicked Low. You did. All right, that's it.
Thank you. That is my
Man,
executive producer, and he is the owner of Two Tempted ENT. Thank you for joining us tonight. Ashley Clay, you have the floor of your last thought, that you want for us to know, and how we're able to reach you, how are we able to help you.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me tonight. My name's Ashley K. I'm probably the only person with my name spelled like that. I've never met another Ashley K. So you can find me through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I also have two poetry albums out that are everywhere: Apple Music, Spotify. And I just want to encourage people to get checked. Don't be afraid to speak your mind when it comes to the doctors. And if one don't listen, find one who does. And please share my story. Like I said, I do have a GoFundMe, and every dollar helps. Every ounce of prayer helps. Every bit of sharing my story helps because I can't fight this battle alone. And the last thing I want to let everybody know is whether I stay or go, I will be healed. And I'm at peace with
Mm. So you had to knock me over the head with that last piece, right?
that.
Okay, now I feel like I gotta get back up off the floor. Like, dang, she's. I know that's right, Ashley. I love you and adore you, and thank you for opening up, because we do need to be talking more, and we need to act more. And so everybody's not knowing what to say all the time. A lot of people don't know, or don't understand certain things, and we got to keep talking. We have to keep sharing, and not just when it's the month, for awareness or whatever, that's great, but we have to keep going from there. And we definitely want to make sure that we can support you. So I will make sure to have her information put in here so that way everybody can see it on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Those that have not put their Facebook, they were not streaming live, then please definitely share this, because we definitely want to make sure that we can get assistance for Ashley as well, and look at the private chats just in case, because I have not been able to look at it, because every time I do something, then I get myself kicked out. So, with that being said, again, thank you for my special guest, Kendall Cobb, Wicked Low, and our dear heart, Ashley K. You can follow me. You see my name. That's where you go with it. It's Christy L. Farley. Just run with it. And thank you again for joining us on Journey and Gems with Farley and Friends podcast, where here we're going to go deep. We're going to love deep. And that's how it is. And we hope that you are able to process these things and be blessed, be well, and good night, everybody.
Lights
Oh,
low
bye, baby.
and the voice rises,
Oh.
steady resonant. The rival. They call her Christy Farley, not just a name, but a force occurring, moving through silence. A spark light in the dark corners of forgotten voices. Spoken word artist, international author, visionary, creative leader. Do you feel it? Every title is not a crown she wears, but a seed she plants. The vision. See, Christy does not just speak, she creates echo. Her words ripple across oceans, bridging cities, bridging lives, bridging souls that thought they were alone. Her eyes, telescopes, seeing galaxies of possibility where others saw only night. Her hands, blueprints, sketching new ways to rise, new ways to lead, new ways to believe. The platforms, a chat show, a podcast, a lifeline broadcast into the world. On Facebook Live, she becomes both stage and sanctuary, turning screens into gathering fires where strangers become friends and friends become family. She is the voice that welcomes you. Welcome to Journey and Gems. And in that welcome you realize you are not just a listener, you are a gem too. You are part of the journey and the vision expands. Journey and Gems with Farley and poetess and spoken word artist. Member of Two Tempted and the Boss Up Blue Mamba. Not just programs, movements, not just podcasts, bridges for the world to cross. Leadership, Christy is not chasing applause. She's not chasing fame, she's chasing truth. And truth, my friends, is the rarest currency in this world. Her leadership, it does not dominate, it elevates. It does not silence, it amplifies. She lives stories the way sunlight lifts shadows. She builds bridges the way rivers carve valleys. She connects voices across continents, across languages, across borders. Because vision knows no border. The fire, listen. Christy is not just speaking, she is summoning. Every word a spark, every pause a drumbeat. She tells the world, create, connect, believe, and the world answers back. Because her call is not small, it is global. She's not just one leader, she is the echo of many. The rhythm of